Hi everyone, hope all is well. Today I'm going to take you on a short trip around the menu system in the Chinese Division 2, as well as show you how the vendors look, how the Manhunt and the map looks, and also the crafting and recalibration changes, with a little bit of Jefferson Plaza Legendary gameplay at the end of the video. So if that interests you, then stick around. Some of the menus that I'll cover are really important to your character's progression, so I'm only going to quickly go over them and then I'm going to cover it in a more in-depth video at a later date. I'll start with a quick look around the map. As you can see, very similar to us, we've got Paradise Lost, we've got New York, we have Camp White Oak, which has just been added, we've got the Coney missions, we've got Zoo. We don't have Countdown yet, that hasn't been added to the Chinese game. They do have the Summit, which is quite a little bit different than our version, Red Dragon Block, and we've got the Abyss game mode. Again, both those last two are timed modes. They do disappear a little bit like Kenley, and you notice they don't have Kenley, and they also don't have Pentagon. They do have both of the raids, and then also when you do look at the map, you will see that they have no classified assignments, and they don't have Descent. They haven't been added into their game yet. They also don't have things like public executions. It's probably a political thing. And yeah, that's the map. So now onto the season track. As you can see, similar-ish to ours. On their premium track, they get the Ouroboros, which is always nice. The top track, you pretty much get next to nothing. Bottom track, it's all mats. The odd bit of cosmetics in there, but it's pretty much all mats and currency, because that's what you need in this game. Because if you don't know already and hasn't actually sank in with how this game works, it is completely and utterly 1,000,000% pay to win. And if you don't do the pay, you're in for a lot of pain. So yeah, okay. And also you can see there the season track only goes up to level 80, whereas ours goes to 100. So yeah. Their initial menu screen is quite similar to ours, just laid out a little bit differently. I'll just quickly cover this little bit off. So first of all, standard screen for your progression, so your comms, so your commendations, your leaderboards, nothing new there, pretty much you've seen before. A few different icons, but same thing. Your general in-game settings, you know, again, standard stuff. There's a couple there that are not in this version that we have, but it is what it is. Yeah, there's your group screen. We've got the one there for mailbox and grants. This is really handy because you get like a lot of caches and stuff get delivered daily in here. Really important. You get that through this screen here. When you click on it, it takes you to their website, and then they always have daily login bonuses or certain like challenges that are ongoing all the time for you to earn caches with mats and crates and stuff like that. So this directly links to it, so you can just go in there, claim what you've earned for the day. I think I've already claimed pretty much everything, if I'm honest with you. You'll have a flick through what's going on at the moment. This one's like a control point challenge, team worm. You get like a lot of points and caches for working in a team and working in a clan. Next one again, just doing daily tasks, logging in, doing bounties, things like that, upgrading your weapons, you know, all gives you caches, which is fantastic. Other than that, layout's pretty much identical. There we have the standard daily challenges screen. So yeah, we've got the map. We've got your weekly challenges, doing legendaries, doing, you know, invaded missions, etc., incursions, and again, you get mats for doing all stuff like that. Yeah, we've got things like your dailies. I've done all the dailies. You've got your weeklies. You've got stuff which is like seasonal based, and you've got things which are sort of like just specials, which are sort of ongoing, I think, until you complete them. I've got a few left there to do, but I've generally done most of the main ones that I particularly need to. A few different challenges again for getting like mats, etc. Again, it's a jump through hoops situation. Do all these different things, gain points. Points make prizes. Manhunt screen, I'll cover that off in a little bit more detail in a minute. Bounties, just like ours, nothing different. This one's for your Shepperton screen, slightly a little bit different because you get some better rewards really for moving up the shepherding ranks. Once you get to 20, you get the dog mask. So yeah, you're going to look like a dog. I suppose it's supposed to be a shepherd anyway. We've got matchmaking, which is kind of good because you can matchmake for CP4s, you can matchmake for regular control points. You can, again, matchmake for missions, nice and easy. You can even matchmake for invaded missions. You've got matchmaking for raids. Only discovery though, a bit like ours. Bounties and incursion. So yeah, that's matchmaking. And then you've got conflict. And conflict's timed. It's a time mode. It's closed at the moment. So, but that's your standard map menus. Now, looking at the Manhunt screen, what you'll probably notice extremely quickly is that when you do the sub-targets, you actually get a skill. You unlock a skill, which is nice, which was good for me because I've only just started and there was quite a lot of skills that I didn't already have. And when we did fail out, yeah, we got the Achilles pulse just like we did on our version. Now for some of the monetization, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of it. I say some of the monetization because a lot of stuff you can actually buy direct from the website as opposed to coming here. So this is sort of like your standard in our game where you would buy premium credits. In this one you use premium credits here to buy mats. Mats are king. If you don't have the mats, you don't upgrade your gear, you don't upgrade your weapons, you do no damage. A bit like what I do at this present moment. You can see here that it's all premium credits to buy, but there's an option to buy some of these mats that you need with textiles. Again, no textiles you get in game, but you have to jump through a lot of hoops to get those, and you don't get a massive amount, so it is quite the grind. Flick over here, you can see things like the appearance stuff, quite standard things. Some of them are different than ours, some of them are the same. But again, you know, it's all buy. Here we've got the packs for the premium credits. Pretty crazy. The most expensive one equates to something like that is 648. I think that's 1,000. I think it works out as. I think when I worked it out on a currency converter, that came to something like nearly 70 British pounds to buy that. And even with that 70 British pounds, that wouldn't give me enough mats to upgrade my weapon or unlock my weapon to the next stat. I'll just give you another quick look at some of the parallel that's in the game. This is not the crazy stuff. Obviously, feel free to pause and have a quick look at it. I think the crazy stuff is more the pay side of things, or you can earn by doing like daily challenges and stuff. Next, what I'll do, I'll move on to the module screen, which is like extremely important in this game. Now with these modules, they're extremely important with your character progression. It pretty much works on that if you, more items you make proficient as such, the more module slots are open, and the more module slots are open, the more things you can plug in, therefore giving you more damage. You get things like weapon damage tags out of cover, damage to armor, has pro, protection from elites, skill damage, skill health, and skill duration. It can make your character extremely powerful. There's a way you upgrade these modules, but I'll cover that off again when we do things like how the progression works and how you upgrade your character and get yourself a little bit more powerful. The next menu shows you the Guardian. If you haven't already seen the Guardian, please watch my last video. It's really interesting, and this thing is really powerful and comes in extremely handy, as well as looking pretty neat, if you ask me. Next menu, you've got your DZ stash. After that, then you've got all your consumables, credits, and etc. You'll see a lot of these are completely different, or look completely different to what you're used to in our game. They generally all have a use. Yeah, we still have the crappy things that you pick up, like necklaces and stuff. But yeah, some of it's similar, some of it isn't. There we've got the standard stats screen. As you can see, stats, the way damage works in this game is a lot different than our game, so some of the stats seem a little bit smaller. And then we've got the tutorial stuff, which is just a standard in our game, probably something no one really looks at. I've looked at it a little bit in this game to try and help me a little bit, but again, just like our game, it's not really the best, if I'm brutally honest. Next up, I'm going to whiz through things like upgrading stuff and recalibration and optimization. First of all, we hit the bench, as you can see here, load of items. You'll notice that the level number at the top right is low. This is where you upgrade the level of a particular item that you've picked up. Pretty much everything you pick up in this game is either level 36 or 37, or if you buy something from a vendor, vendors only sell level 1 gear and you have to spend mats to upgrade it. Bit of a bummer. Then we move on to the next menu. This one is around unlocking stuff. So this is where you unlock your next attribute of your gear. Again, that costs like a ridiculous amount of mats as the further you go along. Nothing at all is unlocked actually when you first start. Then we have things like making stuff. So here we can craft things like legendary weapons. This one where we can craft named items, which is pretty cool really. Then we've got the mods crafting, just like we do in our game. We can we can craft exotics. Again, you need the certain components to be able to craft those things. Then we've got weapon crafting. I don't really have many blueprints at the moment, as you can see, but again, craft them bad boys. And then really after that, you've got a couple of daft things, if I'm honest with you. Hardwired seems to be one of the gear sets of the season, same with Anu and Gilla. I'm assuming this will change by season, so we'll wait and see when the next season rolls around. Now I'll whiz over to the optimization bench. Oh, actually, I didn't show you Anaya. Anaya just sells blueprints just like before. You can buy all the legendary ones, and I bought all the named items from her as well. That's all she seems to sell. Optimization. So yeah, first one, got the armory. This one is very much like making items proficient. But to do it, you have to donate these mats. The blue one moves the bar a little bit, the yellow one moves it a little bit more, and the exotic coloured one makes a full bar. So they're probably the most important ones, so you can make things proficient. The more you're proficient in, the more module slots you can open. So this is like quite important. It doesn't do anything around expertise, that doesn't really exist in this game, but you generally need to make things proficient. Next up, we've got the optimization. So this is about optimizing the skill. Your skill itself is always at its lowest point when you get the weapon, when you unlock it, and you've got to optimize it all the way up. After that, we've got recalibration. Very, very straightforward. But you'll notice on the recalibration, there's like a little yellow thing at the bottom, which is what I need. I can only have one of those at any one time for some reason, unless I buy some, and I can only buy something like one a day or one every 2 days. So being able to recalibrate a stat is a bit of a bummer. And also, you can't recalibrate talents, so you've got to farm the gear with the talent that you need, and plus pretty much everything you farm is rainbow drops, so it's really difficult trying to get exactly what you want. And then after that, you've got the library. The library is very different. You don't put stats into the library, you put the actual attribute itself. So whether it's weapon damage, or whether it's damage to tags out of cover, or whether it's headshot damage, you put that into your library, not the actual stat. So that's what you recalibrate onto the gear. You recalibrate the stat, or should I say the attribute, but not the actual value. The value is something that you have to optimize. So again, costs you an absolute shit ton of mats. Okay, now so let's go and have a look at the watch. The watch is very different than what you're used to. The points that you spend in the watch are linked to your summit progression. The way you progress in the summit is very different than what you're used to, and again, I'll cover that in a progression video, so don't read too much into why I've only got 50 odd points. You'll see things are different here, yeah. So you can spec into gear sets, you can spec into stats, as in like weapons wise, and you can stack into talents. Okay, I've left a few of these on the screen a little bit, so if you want to Google translate them, you can. But the idea of this is that this changes seasonally. So you would get some summit points, you would then put into your watch, and this would give you benefits for that particular season. So like as an example, things like the hotshot one at the moment basically just give you a aimbot. If you hit someone with like a 400% weapon damage, even if you're using like an LMG or an AR, it doesn't really matter. It just auto locks onto the head of like the next NPCs for like the next like 5-10 seconds, and you just completely obliterate everyone. So they make the game like super easy. Now lastly, before a little bit of gameplay, let's just have a look at a couple of vendors. So first of all, there's your standard vendor. Everything is level 1. If you want to buy something, it's got this little handy slider bar, which is like absolutely fantastic, which we should have that in our game. Would make life absolutely easy. I think most people in this game buy them just to break down for mats. I suppose we do that in our game as well. But yeah, that would make it like pretty cool. I'll head over to the clan vendor now. Clan vendor's again different. Doesn't sell weapons or gear or anything. Sells like mats and cosmetics, but it also has its own like credit system. So you've got like clan credits, and you earn those clan credits by doing clan activities, which makes sense in honesty, you know. So yeah, slightly different, you know. After this, we'll head over to the Abyss. We'll have a look in there. Also, just in case you wanted to know, the DZ is exactly the same as ours from a point of view of the vendors. DZ credits a king, just like normal. Cassie is different. I'm going to get to that at the end. And yeah, let's see what the Abyss vendor has got for sale. As you can see, it's pretty much cosmetics. We've got a skin there for the crossbow. We've got quite a few other cosmetic items. You'll notice that it has its own Abyss credit system, again, its own currency. Again, you earn that by climbing, or should I say descending, the Abyss game mode. Which again is quite an interesting mode in itself, but rather strange. It's only really got like 6 floor layouts, and you've got to like complete each layout like 3 or 4 times, doing different activities. Bit of a pain really, if I'm honest with you. And here's Cassie. As you can see, she sells skills. I'm not really quite sure how this works, because I've bought a few of these skills and like they stay there. I don't know whether you have to buy like a couple for you to get it. I just really don't know. When I first seen it, I spent all my money. Now I'm a little bit more wary of what's going on, but yeah, I'm sure I'll figure that out at some point. So yeah, I've waited on long enough for like 17 minutes, even though I fired through those menus as fast as I possibly could. So I'll leave you with a little bit of gameplay footage from me getting hard carried on Jefferson Plaza Legendary. I still do no damage. I'm still getting carried by these guys. But yeah, at least it'll give you an opportunity to see this mission and see how it plays out. Whether we'll get something like this in our game is pretty slim, if I'm brutally honest. I really just can't see it. I think all the major development stuff is going to really happen around the Chinese version. Obviously, we're going to get the DLC, so we'll see how that plays out. I could be completely wrong. They might go full tilt and give us something while they're developing the Division 3, but you never know. But yeah, so that's it from me. I'm sick of talking. Bye bye now.
contaminated area.